Welcome to another episode of the 2 for 1 podcast. I'm your host, Dion, and alongside me, as always, my fellow co-hosts are here. Joining me live from the city where Mac DeMarco put on a barefoot performance in front of a sold-out crowd this weekend.
Hell yeah.
It is none other than Mr. Josiah Cook himself. How are you, sir?
Oh, I had no clue.
I was like,
Mac is,
I was like, where's this going for the intro?
Is that?
man.
That's not the first time he's done that. I feel like he's done that before.
I have no idea.
He likes to let the dogs out.
Shout out Mac
And-
DeMarco.
He has a lot of songs, man. He has an album with like 200 songs. That's crazy behavior right there. I'm not a big fan. How are you guys on Mac DeMarco? Do you guys like him?
What's
or-
that one viral song he has from years ago?
There's a lot. I mean, there's Chamber of Reflection. There's This Old Dog.
Yeah, Chamber of Reflection. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. Other than that, I don't really know too much about Mac DeMarco. I just know he was barefoot in Cleveland this weekend. So
I like Mac,
Okay, yeah.
Mac DeMarco and a nice old J in the summertime going
Sure.
fishing. Few things can beat that. That and Bob Marley.
Okay, sure.
By
Well,
the way,
anyway.
good afternoon, hoop
Thank you.
talkers, except for Lakers fans. They're dead to me.
I love it. But joining us live from the state where 2 residents have reportedly been exposed to hantavirus.
Oh my God,
I don't even know how to say it.
Oh, no.
I hope that's the last time that I make mention of any sort of nationwide virus ever again. But it is the man, the myth, the Nate, Mr. Taylor. How are you doing? Are you feeling healthy?
Yeah, I am.
Okay,
Unfortunately, someone in my town was holding up people with a gun in a house a few blocks up the street. Nobody died, I think, so that was
Okay.
good. But yeah, this virus stuff. I don't think that this is. I don't want to even.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
not even gonna
I-
put that into
I
the
can't do
ether.
this again.
Don't
Yeah.
give the virus the hype.
Yeah.
Last but certainly not least, joining us live just outside of the city that was taken over by none other than Lionel Messi this weekend. Someone I've been calling my co-host for many years now. It is my main man, Mitchell Sider. Mr. Sider, how you doing?
Yes, football. Yes, Messi. I don't know. You know what? I can say now that I have no horse in the race of the playoffs, I'm doing pretty good.
Okay.
As an outside spectator, it's been enjoyable.
I wish I could say the same because I also no longer have a horse in the race.
Yeah,
Not
well,
enjoying that fact though, but so be it. It is what it is. I got to live with.
Mitch is looking
that.
very dapper in his sweater.
Absolutely, yeah. Boy's looking
Oh, thanks,
fly
man.
as ever.
Yeah, thanks. Fast fashion. I'm pretty sure this is from Sheen. But gotta keep that thing on me. Thank you. Appreciate
Got
it.
to do what you got to do. Well, gentlemen, it was quite an eventful weekend in the association, and so we are here to talk about all of it. Before we dive into some of these second round matchups, got to talk about the lottery drawing. We now have the official order for the draft for this year. Shout out to the Washington Wizards finally winning something, even if it's being the worst team in the league. They won something. They won the lottery. They will have the number 1 overall pick. So we'll kind of talk through the top 14, what stood out to us, what is kind of on our mind moving forward now that we have the order set. I wanted to start off by congratulating Washington, just because I thought that was obviously big news for them. But what else stood out to you guys as far as who would you guys say is the biggest winner outside of the Wizards here?
Well,
Winners. If we're talking about winners, I think the Clippers are another one, but I think that's a whole separate conversation that I want to have about how that trade.
yeah,
ended up going.
we
Go
should
ahead.
go
We
into.
can start there.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
All right.
because that was obviously the Clippers have just done a huge job to go from holy crap, this future is really, really bleak. I don't even want to think about the next 5 years to okay, now there's actually something to play with, even if it's not some championship foundation young core. You have building blocks. You have Darius Garland. You have Benedict Mathurin, who looked pretty solid last year, and now he got to be under Kawhi. I don't know how much of a mentor Kawhi really is or not. But
Kawhi didn't give anybody his number. He was like,
he
no.
at least got to watch Kawhi up close and play with Kawhi, and I think Benedict Mathurin's a nice young player. Now you get to add the 5th overall pick to that, who could be another very nice young piece to that mix. And then obviously we have no idea what's going to happen with Kawhi, whether the contract's going to be voided or they're going to be able to trade him or they decide to trade him and get value for him. Regardless, they have so much more flexibility now, and that one thing of them dropping back the 1 pick, it really makes a world of difference for them, because I think Garland and Mathurin is cool, but adding a 5th overall pick and a loaded class is a really big deal for me.
Yeah, it vastly changes the trade that was made at the deadline. I mean, for them to turn Zubac into Ben Mathurin in the 5th pick is just an absolute fleece. Plus, they're getting, the 29 first from the Pacers as well?
Unprotected, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yep.
I mean, it turns into what was a pretty solid trade. I thought they definitely sold high on Zoo, but now it looks like an absolute fleece. And I couldn't help but laugh. Did you guys see the Pacers GM Kevin Pritchard tweet out basically saying he's sorry.
Yeah, and
Yes,
you
he
see his
did.
interview too. He looked like he wanted to do something bad to him. So it was
Yeah,
not a
TJ
good
McConnell
look.
had the same reaction live at the podium when they announced that it came out number 5. Yeah, this is really, really rough for the Pacers. I mean, we haven't really seen, obviously Halliburton missed the whole season. We didn't really get to see Zoo in a Pacers uniform. We don't know what it's going to look like with him and Halliburton, but I mean, to give up the number 5 pick for him is not where they want it to be. This is not.
All right,
good
all
scenario
right.
for them.
Before the negative Nancy's keep piling on, let's
I-
be real for a second. Let's be real for a second. If it wasn't going to be Cam Boozer added to this Indiana squad, Braden Burries is not the man that I'm sliding next to Halliburton and saying, I can't believe we won this draft. All right, 5 is not the thing that I'm going to hang myself over if I'm Indiana fans.
I think that probably if they ended up with pick 5 and called up the Clippers and said, "Hey, do you want pick 5 for Zubac? Forget all this other stuff. Forget Benedict Mathurin." They probably would have done that. So, yeah, the value is not there. That's obvious. But obviously, I think there is something to what Mitch is saying. You couldn't get a guy like Zubac on that contract in a way that wasn't giving up something. I just think what they gave up, they tanked this year. Why would you give up your pick that you tanked this year for? We talked about it on the podcast.
A 19-win season for no draft pick to me is there's no way to look at that as a win.
Yeah. So if it was like 2 firsts and Benedict Mathurin, then whatever. You know what I mean? Like a random other future first.
Yeah.
But the fact it was the 5th pick and that you tanked this season, it really hurt.
If they were giving it up in a year where they're like, okay, we know we're going to be good when in 2029, hopefully they're still, a top team in the East like they expect to be. You give up in a year, you win 19 games, and you take a gamble like that. It was basically a 50-50 chance. There was a 50-50 chance you were going to lose your pick for Zubac. I think the Pacers are going to be good, but I also think some Pacers fans are overestimating just how good they're going to be in the East next year. I'm not in love with this Pacers team. Even when they were healthy and went to the finals, they were still only a 6 seed then.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm not exactly penciling the Pacers in. Even if they had added a top pick, I was not penciling them in as like just top 6 in the East again. Like I think it's going to be a tough climb to get back. We'll see how Zoo fits. I do like the pairing of him and Hallie theoretically, but I mean, yeah, I don't think that there's like some shoe in to get back to being one of the contenders in the East. So definitely a tough Sunday for them. But to pivot to the Wizards at 1, I think Debanza has to be the guy. I know there's some rumors about potentially them trading down, but to me, it just makes perfect sense. He's exactly positionally what they need. I think the only other guy I would really consider at number 1 would be Peterson. I'm enough of a Trey Johnson fan. He was number 2 on my board last year, where I'm good with him as my guard. Him and Koulibaly as my wings, like I'm content with that moving forward. Put Debanza in that forward spot, basically kind of replacing Denny in a sense, positionally at least. And I think you just roll forward with that. I don't know. Nate's giving me some eyebrows as if he feels differently.
They can't also. Where's Anthony Davis and Alex Sarr?
In the front court.
Yeah, but you said
That's a
Koulibaly can't start
45.
too.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm not saying they all have to necessarily be starters, but
I actually, as much as I hate Trae Young, and I don't really want him on my team in any situation, I'll give him a chance for the Wizards to see what he can do if he's really willing to just be this. Actually, I don't know. This is like asking James Harden to be, clutch
be
and
good in the
games
second
starter.
round. Yeah,
Him
That's
pairing with Debanza going forward is really good, and I still love AD and Sarr in the front court. So it really depends on AD's health whether this team can make some noise. I think.
yeah. I think if you look at it, like they traded for 2 heavy quotations all-stars. They should be looking towards like actually trying to progress forward this season and not go into next year tanking. And if they drafted someone like Peterson, number 1, or they trade down and get someone that's not as much of a building block, then all of a sudden the roster construction doesn't really make as much sense to me. But you plug in Debanza, and all of a sudden it's like, all right, let's go. Like this is our team now, and I like where we're at. Let's just throw the ball out there, see what we got.
I think you add another defender in free agency. They have cap space. You get AJ. What if they pick up a guy like Dort? Like add him in the mix. He can be really
Hey, I
deadly.
don't hate that.
I all of a sudden I like that, yeah, because Koulibaly is obviously a solid defender. You have a really nice defensive front court already.
I want to interject for a second. So we've entirely ruled out the idea that this man is not going to end up in Utah. Like,
Well, I just think it makes the most
that's
sense for the Wizards.
No, it does for the Wizards, but also the amount of murmuring that Debanza wants everything in his power to stay in Utah and be in
100%.
Utah. The amount of lobbying that's going to be happening for Utah to try to move up to trade with Washington and every possible There all of the signs of like the NBA is rigged points to DeBanza ending up in Utah. That there's like I'm already in the boat of Utah's going to just be phoning them as much as as they can for the next 20 days, being like, please, 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 please. I'm in the boat that Peterson actually genuinely makes sense next to Trae Young, in the sense where you tell Peterson all of the tertiary passing, throw that shit out the window. You are now a scorer, and you are going to be a pure bucket getter, because that's the thing that made you give that Kobe Light comp, was because you had such a tenacity to score the ball. The passing was great because it was like a secondary attribute that he made good reads, but you're like, hey, look, listen, we got Trae Young, all right? He will get you in your spots. All you have to worry about is putting that rock through the cylinder and then walking back on defense and giving 50% effort on that end.
Yeah.
And I do think that structurally, just throwing DeBanza into that lineup for Washington would be way better basketball. I just think that everything that would be like, this is the Jazz's fairy tale of it coming through. The hometown kid comes here. He wanted to be here. Also, the length of Markin and JJJ and DeBanza would be a crazy trio to like try to penetrate on that. There's hands all over the rock. But I do agree that for the sake of parity and ethical hoops, DeBanza being on a Wizard would make the most sense. I just think Adam Silver's hands are going to be in the honeypot a little bit.
Yeah, like if I'm the Wizards and we ended up with Peterson, I'd be fine with it. I think Peterson and DeBanza are the two guys I look at in this class that are actually like franchise altering. Like Cam Boozer to me is like rock solid, like just going to be really good, probably an all-star kind of deal. Caleb Wilson maybe has some variance, but to me, those are the two guys at the top of the board. So it has to be one of those two. And I just think it's way more muddy trying to get Peterson to his ceiling on that team than DeBanza, because that paired with the fact that I really like Trey Johnson. I know you don't really like draft for fit necessarily when you have the number one pick, but given that both of those guys are equally like generational potential prospects, I would just go with the guy that fits better. That just makes the most sense.
I don't think Washington's trading the pick either, as much as they might blow smoke out of their ass about trading down. I don't think, what could Utah offer Washington for the number one pick?
Yeah, what would it take?
Good? It would take this is what happens. They walk in the boardroom. Adam Silver slams the door behind them. He pulls his 44 Magnum out and he says,
okay, in a real world,
switching the pick. No, I'm saying this is exactly this is a real world scenario. You don't think Adam Silver, you don't think Adam Silver, the reptilian mastermind, isn't going to be like,
why wouldn't Adam Silver rig the lottery? Why would he?
Yeah, wouldn't that be easier to just give Utah the lottery? Yeah.
No, because it's a way better storyline for draft night. Him to open up the tuxedo and just a big U with a fucking music notes on the inside. And then Adam Silver goes, there has been a trade. And then boom, he gives him the hat. Like it's a way better storyline. You get way better clicks.
They don't even get the hat. That doesn't even work.
Yeah, true.
They give them the wrong hat.
He just goes, go sit down over there. Don't even walk across the stage. Just...
At number 3 with Memphis, I'm of two minds here, where my initial thought was, oh, this is a perfect opportunity for them to make sure that they can get Acuff. A perfect job replacement. They can ship him out and just move forward. But at the same time, I also think getting one of Boozer or Wilson and keeping Ja could make a ton of sense too. I really can't decide what I think.
That's a really good recipe for success. A 7'4" center that can't move his feet and a 6' point guard who can't play any defense. They have to go with one of the two bigs here, whether it's Caleb or Boozer, whatever they like better. It has to be who Memphis takes. I don't see them taking one of the guards. I don't know if Mitch or Josie had something different.
Oh, I was the one that told him he was smoking crack for Acuff at 3.
Yeah,
because that's absolutely ridiculous. And then also, if you pass up on Boozer or Wilson for that matter, you're basically telling Ja that also, who has also been very public about like, despite everything else,
he still wants to
wish to remain in Memphis, and Memphis would be a great vow of confidence to be like, let's get you an actual running mate. Let's, instead of getting you a big forward like Jaren Jackson Jr., an actual big forward in Cam Boozer, who will actually help you get to the rim. My thing with Boozer
too, by the way.
My thing with Boozer, it would be the most physical running mate that they would have at the 4 in a long time in Memphis.
He's a Memphis player.
Like everything about Cam Boozer screams, oh my God, could you imagine just like a little fake handoff downhill from Ja? Like this motherfucker would probably, and I'll say this tentatively, would probably put up the most nonchalant like 18-9 next to Ja in his rookie year. Like it would just be so easy to feed off of the gravity because you have a rim runner who's impossible to keep in front of you, 0.75x. and then a 6'9", 250, I want to say, just absolute fucking tank in Boozer. Like, it's a
Yeah.
no-brainer to me. This is an absolute no-brainer pick.
Well,
Like,
let me throw-
if they take Acuff, hold on. If they take Acuff, it is a sign that there was already a trade for Ja in the works, and
Yeah.
the team has just been like, okay, like waiting to pull the trigger. Because otherwise, it makes no sense to try to be like Acuff and Ja. Let's see what
Oh
happens.
yeah, 100. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I was gonna
understand
say
that.
too, if they don't have something in line with Ja, and they take Acuff or they take another guard for some reason, somebody else, that immediately lowers whatever trade value left that Ja did have, because it's like, oh, okay, you basically just decommitted to the guy who was your franchise point guard
Yeah.
because you took a guard over,
Hey,
at
and
three.
the
Well,
leverage you
let me
had
throw a
him-
curveball at you guys here. Let me throw a curveball at you because
Sure.
Carlos Boozer, father
Yep.
of Cam, has actually been working in the Utah Jazz front office for a little over a year now.
Yes, I did.
What
know
if
that.
he goes number 2 because DeBanza goes number 1, and now all of a sudden Darren Peterson's available for Memphis?
Then guess what Memphis does?
They take
Memphis
Darren
goes, let's fucking go. We got
Yeah.
Darren Peterson. Like,
Peterson. Yeah,
that's the other thing. They could also coexist.
Yeah,
That
he can
that
play
is-
next to Ja.
that I
that
think
is-
would work.
That is a complete coexist. That is a very scary guard duo right there.
Absolutely.
That is, and here's the thing: being number 3 is a win-win at that point because you cannot go wrong. You either get the complementary piece or the franchise cornerstone to play with your other franchise cornerstone, right?
Mhm.
Like it's if Utah grabs Boozer too, I will say that is an interesting mismanaged pick as well because you're already cluster of forwards. Like who is your 5 in that instance? Because Kessler probably, right? Like that's your
yeah.
5, but then you're
So let's play Lauri Markkinen at
Well,
shooting
here's the-
guard.
here's the thing, right? then your 2 is either Jaren Jackson Jr., Lauri Markkinen, or Cam Boozer, and then Ace Bailey's like, what am I doing? And they're like, we don't know. We have no idea. You know what? You play the 5. Who cares? We saw Colin Murray Boyles do it. You could do it. Who cares? Like,
Yeah, I just thought that was an interesting thing. No, I don't think it would make any sense for them to take him.
If you're Chicago, you get the best or whatever's left of the top 4 guys, unless someone somehow doesn't pick one of the expected top 3, and then
Right.
you get even luckier. You can have your pick, or Memphis at 3 because then they get one of the top 3 projected guys, or they can go take Caleb Wilson. Like there is no
Yeah,
real
this was set up on a
situation.
silver platter for Chicago. Like, hey, we're gonna make this as easy as possible for you to not fuck this up. I know the
Now-
last time we gave
No,
you number
hold on.
4, you
Yes,
fumbled it about as
right,
hard as you
okay.
possibly could. But with this year, you're set up pretty nicely. Just take one of the top 4 guys, and you should be good to go. Because the Bulls, I mean, yeah, they got Buzelis, yeah, they got Giddey, but like they got nothing going for them. They could take anyone positionally, and they'd be just fine to build around with that guy. So
Did you
just take one of the top 4 guys, and you're good.
see what Bryson Graham said too, which I thought was
Who
one
knows
of the,
Bryson Graham.
isn't he the new
That's the new
the new
president.
Oh,
of
shit,
basketball
I'm
ops for the
My
Bulls?
fault.
I was
My
like,
fault.
did I get his name wrong?
Bro's like,
No.
is
Hawks
AK
guy,
still
yeah.
there? No. Oh,
Yes. So what he said was just like probably one of the Zark actually I think tweeted this. He's gotten a bunch of Bulls tweets off that he's gotten a bunch of followers from. So good for Zark. I don't know if you guys have seen his
Yep,
Twitter at all.
yep. Shout out Zach.
Guy's a social
He's
media
been-
magnet.
he has
Um,
been on the up with
Yeah, he's
Twitter,
been on a
dude. It's been
heater.
crazy.
But so he tweeted out the video. He basically said just because we got the number 4 overall pick does not mean the Chicago Bulls are back by any means or whatever. Like he's being very honest, other than or unlike AK, who'd be like, we are fixing the franchise, like we're doing whatever it takes to
We're
put
gonna go
this
get
team in a-
9 decent, solid players, and we're gonna win like that.
Yeah. So I have faith in him to not fuck things up, especially because I think he was very good drafting with Atlanta, which is the big reason why Chicago went out and got him.
Mhm. Yeah. I
So,
feel somewhat
hopefully
optimistic
for
about the
Bulls-
Bulls, which I haven't said in like 15 years.
The Knicks got better by emptying the front office and getting the right people in there. I think if the Bulls really did get the right people this time, there could be some hope for them, especially with starting things off, jumping that much in the lottery.
like like Chicago being good would be great, especially for the East, because let's be honest, it's not exactly the prettiest, like the most expensive team in the league getting taken to 7 games by a team missing 2 of their starters. Kind of rough if you think about it.
Okay, point taken. But what I was gonna say before, speaking of no man's land, the Nets at 6 and the Kings at 7. I mean, this is just a disaster. I don't know what the hell these two franchises plan on doing, because the tough part about it too, they're not going to get someone that really moves the needle for them going into next year. And then we go into next year, we don't know exactly what it's going to be, but the lottery odds are going to be flattened. So it's not like, oh, well, we can just be bad next year. That doesn't, we're not really going to get much of that anymore.
This was the big concern, though, that I thought, like, dude, Nets fans on social media right now want to all kill themselves. Like, they don't know what to do. They're like, there is no out for this franchise. Like, we are genuinely just stuck for the next however many years.
Yeah.
Like, the only way we are going to get better is if we get lucky and two superstars decide to come here, and it works out like unlike how it did with KD and Kyrie and James Harden. What path is there to the Nets being good or even getting a good pick next year? It's up to that like 5% chance that they might get with the flattened odds. You expect this roster to go and be competitive next year? No one's going to sign with them. Michael Porter Jr. is going to quit after the All-Star break again and then go talk about it on a podcast. There's no route to the Nets getting better. They are so stuck. Like, tell me what the Nets next step is, because I have no fucking clue.
Start scouting for that number 6 pick, man, because you better hit on it.
Yeah.
I
will say they were pre-fucked in a way, because I think they trade their pick next year anyways. Like, I think Houston has
the
their
Rockets
pick.
still have it.
So they drew number 8 and number 6 in the current system in the last 2 years. So I mean, like, bro.
Well, they traded back for their picks to literally fall back 5 combined spots in 2 years.
Yeah.
That is rough.
So this was their path, and it's already expired. To your point, Nate.
I don't think it's doom and gloom to just add Acuff to this team. I don't think it's like you're still adding overall talent.
That's best case scenario.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I don't know if that's best case at 6. Like, Burries is also like a very intriguing add to this team. Like, if the Clippers want Acuff, by all means, go ahead. Like, you're still getting a very, very promising guard out of the two of them. Like, it does suck that they're not like 3 or 4. But also, you're basically saying, thank God we don't have to start Drake Powell. Like, you're getting a much more established player right off the bat, who, by all means, like Yegor, he is a very interesting player, but also he's 6'8". You could fucking slide him to the 3 if MPJ really does just piece the fuck out of there, right? Like, there are paths where the Nets are better. They'll never be good in this. Like, I think, hold on, I think for the next decade, I will not watch the Brooklyn Nets be meaningful playoff competitors. And that's okay for me, because I don't give a fuck about the Brooklyn Nets.
Well, that's my point. That sucks for Nets.
But the good of the NBA, the Nets should be managed better. They should be a team that, like, takes the Raptors to 6 games kind of thing. Like, that, it would be cool if they did that. Unfortunately, there's a reality here, right, where Michael Porter Jr. just goes, and then they're like, Nick Claxton, you are a franchise cornerstone. And he goes, I'm actually headed to the Bucks. And everybody goes, well, shit, we've got nothing. Yegor and checks notes, Brandon Burries run this shit up. Like, it's going to be the Cam Thomas, go out there, have fun with the Rock kind of game for like at least 3 years. So,
yeah, their best hope is really to like recreate 2018 and be like fun and at least hopefully young in the process too. But yeah, they're definitely they have no path to like contention. I mean, that's out of the question.
But they don't even have like a D'Angelo Russell, who was a player with that much upside on the roster currently.
Well, I mean,
D'Angelo Russell and upside
at the time, yeah.
Oh yeah,
no Dinwiddie's on this team either.
No, oh my God,
Enos or Dinny with Diddy.
They need to find a Jared Dudley. That's what they really need.
That's what they need. They need a Jared Dudley who just talks mad shit, and everybody just goes, "Yeah, Jared." Yeah,
get Georges Niang on the phone.
Wait. What you said about Michael Porter, though, is like him piecing out would mean them trading him. So it's like, do they go and try to trade?
Or his back is completely fucked again. He just coasts after the All-Star break again. He does like a really good 30 games of the season, and then it doesn't matter.
That's what I was going to ask, though, is before the season, do they go and try to trade him for whatever they can after he put together a pretty solid campaign? Like, do you ship off Nick Claxton, too, and just full on go with, we're going to get as many young pieces as we can and just hope they develop into something good for the season? Like, can you get a late first-round pick from a team for Nick?
Yes, you can.
Late first-round pick from a team for Nick Claxton?
Yes, you can. You can have our pick. I'll take Nick Claxton. You can have Grady Dick. You can have Grady Dick. There's your upside swing.
That's the type of move, though, that realistically, that's the type of move that the Nets could make, where they're going to make a gamble for a young player with upside plus, an early second or a protected first. I don't like the Nets have to take some risks here, and I don't understand how Sean Marks still has a fucking job at this
No.
point because he's
Yeah.
been cooking up absolute bullshit for the last 15 years.
It's amazing to see any GM last for 15 years with one NBA team, but to do a horrible job pretty much the entire time and still keep the job, I mean, it's unprecedented stuff. So.
Oh, we have a young fun team. Let's sell it all and go star hunting. Oh, we got the stars. Now let's not win anything with that. Oh, now the stars all want to get traded. Let's get minimal return for all of them. Oh,
All right,
we want to
hold
get
on.
our own picks back. We got our own
And
picks
it just,
back.
yeah,
We
they
got
went through that
possible
cycle
lottery.
again. Yeah.
You're back at
How-
the same point you started at, man.
How insane would it be if they did Serif, MPJ, this 2027 first, and something else for Franz?
I saw a bunch
Oh.
of Nets fans that want him.
How feasible is that actually?
That's
Or like Tyler
I
Hero,
mean,
for
if they would
example,
do, if the
like-
Magic would do that, then yeah, I would do that if I was the Nets.
I would probably do that. That might be decent for both sides of the Magic spot.
yeah, I'm just trying to
What
think.
does that
like-
really do? What is Franz like? Franz is not changing Brooklyn's life.
No, but
Well,
there's
he's
your
the
But
best
he
actual.
can help
player.
you not be the
Okay,
worst
hold
team
on.
in basketball.
Yeah, I think you might be underrating just adding a stable piece who's a defined star rather than 30 games of Michael Porter Jr. on half a hamstring and not
Is he,
giving a
is
fuck.
he a defined
Like-
star, or do
I
we just
think-
know he's
okay.
really good at basketball?
No, but I think if you put him in on his own team,
I'm not just like
Wait, what
building
the
around Franz. Like, oh yeah, this guy's a
Is this guy really good at basketball, or is he just really good at basketball,
is this soup burning my tongue or is it just really, really, really hot?
bro?
No, my point is like I don't think the Nets bring in Franz and it's like okay, here we go. Here's our guy we're building around. Like I just
That's
don't know
not
what
the
that
point.
leads to.
See,
But they add a guy like Franz and they're automatically better than like the Bulls.
Oh, great! Congratulations, hang the band.
I
I'm
said
better
it.
than the Bulls.
Okay, Dion, do you like spew bullshit out of your mouth
Why-
sometimes
why
and just
am I
not
giving
listening
up-
to what you're
Why
because
am
we're
I
talking
giving up
about
my
the
rookie
flattened
point
odds
guard
system.
in a future
If they
pick?
don't want to be the worst team in basketball and they want
Yeah.
to help their odds and look like they
Also-
can maybe build a foundation of something and take the pressure off of their young guys to hopefully help them develop, then maybe a guy like Franz could help them do that.
So
don't
also
really-
hold on. I also want to point out, Dion. I think you might just be too concerned with the 2027 draft, who is not even remotely close to the level of like caliber of players from wherever they pick from.
Well, didn't
than
we
this
already
draft
say they've
right
already
now.
given up the 27 pick?
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. Talking about flatten odds for next year, go out, get Franz, have somebody who's like at least a stable building block. Because right now on this team, Michael Porter Jr. is it. Think about
Yeah.
that.
That's
Think
right. I
about
mean, if that's gonna be the price tag, if it's gonna be Ben Saroff and one first round pick, like sure, that's a steal. But like, I just don't know that it's like worth it to go in that direction.
I don't
But-
even mean just Franz, but you want to start building towards something. So when you have your pick back in 2028, that you're not the worst team in the league, and if
Yeah.
those odds are going to hurt you for being a bottom 3 team or whatever it is, that you want to try to at least be building towards.
True.
something.
Yeah. If it's gonna be
You
that
wanna talk
proposed
about-
idea, then you can't
yeah.
be the worst team. That's fair.
You want
Yeah.
to talk about getting somewhere, you need a blueprint before. They don't even have a map to find a foundation right now. They need something, and Franz would be something.
Okay.
And you're
all
right. Like
I'll give you
Franz
that.
immediately to that Nets team, they're still probably very bad. But then maybe them growing a year together, then that next year with the whole offseason under their belt, they're a little bit better, and that just helps them that little bit with their draft odds. Because at this point, they need every single bit of luck that they can get.
Yeah.
I
I don't know. I think honestly, I think I had the reaction because I'm just particularly low on Franz at this current moment. Now the Kings, on the other hand, and I think we can wrap up lottery discussion because that was really all that happened as far as movement. Shout out to whoever drew the lottery balls for not letting Dallas move up. I didn't want to see the Bucks necessarily move up, the Warriors, something like that.
Thank
But I
God
think we'll wrap it
OKC
with-
stayed at
like,
12.
what is the Kings path? Yeah, OKC, that's the other one I meant to say. What is the Kings path forward? Because like they are not only just as bad as a team like the Nets, but they're a veteran laden team. This is not a team that had 5 first round picks last year.
I think we know what the answer is.
Okay.
Trading
Well-
for RJ Barrett. Trading for
Disaster
RJ
draft.
Barrett.
Oh, trigger the disaster draft.
They have to all get on a
Mm.
plane.
Zach Levine, you are.
Zach Levine, you are a global terrorist.
I think all those guys are gonna opt into their player options that have them, like Zach Levine, and they're gonna draft somebody. And yeah, I don't think there's an answer. I think that if everyone is trying next year, if that really is the lottery proposal that's what we're moving forward with, they're gonna be at the bottom. Like there's
Hey, at
no
least-
other way to put it.
At least Devin Carter got a hair transplant.
No, he just
Shout out
buzzed
to
the
him.
shit clean off.
Yeah,
No,
he
a
just-
hair transplant, buddy.
Are you serious?
Dude, did you see his hairline? Like that shit
Well,
was not.
he buzzed it all off.
No, he didn't buzz it all off. There's a very clear new hairline there, and it's literally like red. You
He
can
went to the
see it.
2K barber, dude.
He went to
Ah,
Turkey.
Yeah, he took a trip to Turkey, huh? No, honestly, I couldn't notice. I remember scrolling past it quickly, but okay. Well, shout out to
No,
him. I
'cause-
mean,
Yeah,
Shout out.
no. Shout out to him.
yeah. Okay, I guess fine. I guess we'll cut the Kings of Such score. They're just fucked.
I mean,
okay.
well, they draft one of the guards and hope that they're nearly as good as Halliburton or Fox was.
Oh, jeez.
You could trade back for De'Aaron Fox now, take on his
Yeah, be
giant
like, can we have
contract.
De'Aaron back so we can pay him again, so we can trade him again?
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't know what the path forward. I didn't have any solutions. I was
Well,
hoping you
Zach
guys might
Levine
provide
says
one.
that they think they're as good as any team. So
I just gave you the solution, dog. It's RJ Barrett. Like God.
stop.
And then they can also give a 7 for RJ. I'll take that too if they want to.
Hmm. No, sure.
I actually
Or
think if
wait,
they did that, Vivek
now-
would get shot.
now,
Like, I
hold
think
on.
someone would shoot Vivek.
Now wait. What if they needed just like one more pure hooper on this team? Instead of RJ, they can have Ingram.
Now.
All
we're
right.
cooking.
Oh my God.
Now we're
There we
cooking.
go.
All right,
Okay.
let's move into discussing the playoffs a little bit here. We spent a long time on the lottery. I'm not gonna lie, Nate. I think we can skip past the Knicks and Sixers. There's just not much to be said. Not a lot of basketball analysis to be had in that one. The Knicks are on a tear.
Jalen
We'll
Brunson,
definitely
very
give.
good.
I definitely want to give the Knicks their proper due because they are on a tear right now. We'll save that for the conference finals preview. Shout out to them for making back-to-back conference finals. But I don't think we need to spend too much time
No,
there. Wanted to give Josie the
there's not-
necessary
hold on.
platform. Oh, go
There's
ahead.
not a ton to talk about, but I think I have to do my little Jalen Brunson victory lap here because I said before the playoffs and all
Ah.
season long that Jalen Brunson is still the guy I want more than pretty much anyone come playoff time. Like this dude is solidifying himself as an all-time playoff performer, and I just want everybody here to appreciate what we're witnessing with him because it's special as much as the team is having all of its success. He has been fucking ridiculous. I heard conversations about how Tyrese Maxey was better than him. I heard
Mhm.
conversations about how Jalen Johnson was better than him. He tucked both of them into bed and sent them to sleep for a long time. So
Now, to be fair, the conversation were Instagram comments of people who are troglodytes.
No, yes,
That
it
is
was-
our
it
own
wasn't
follower
smart.
base, so it's like
it wasn't smart people necessarily, but there were those people out there. And
Well,
I
shout
just
out to you if you left a comment. Thank you
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we always love engaging in hostile debate in the
Alright.
comment section.
I will pass the soapbox though to Mr. Josiah.
All right, so Thunder up 3-0 in the Lakers.
What the fuck was that, Mitch?
He was so boxed because he's like, I've been dying to talk about how OKC has been reaping the league. Let's hear it.
No,
Let's hear it.
I think that it was due a discussion about this team. I mean, they haven't
No,
lost
yeah.
a playoff game
You're
yet. Kind of been like, yeah, when they're moving through, they're doing what they need to do. But
We've been dismissing how legitimately dominant that they have been and not giving it its proper due. I will agree with that.
and I will say to all the people who are annoyed out there that the Thunder keep winning, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. But this series has not looked how I thought it would. I kind of expected Shea to have another series where he's averaging 30 points, coming in and dominating, but he has not done that at all. Actually, the Lakers have done the best job on him in a series that any team has done since 2024, since he's been back in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So where has it come from? It's come from the Thunder bench, especially, and AJ Mitchell jumping in.
AJ,
for-
Jalen Brunson, Mitchell.
Stop. Don't do that yet.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, they
Give him
really
one more
want
series before we tag him.
All right, fair enough.
they want AJ Mitchell to be the next James Harden. By the way, people are already talking about the Thunder having to trade AJ Mitchell. So that is what it is. I hope
He's-
Sam Presti learned his mistake, but
He's on a rookie deal though, so he's got like 4 years left. No, or how many years did they sign him to? Because it was a second round
He's-
pick.
2 more after this, but $2 million a year. So, and listen to this stat, guys. He's become such an important player. They were 50-7 with him on the floor this year. They were only 14-11 without him this
Wow.
year. So the majority of their losses came when he was not in the lineup. He's become a huge player. You look around at the bench, Jared McCain, he might be the best shooter to wear a Thunder jersey in a long time, maybe since Paul George. And
Ooh.
someone like
I like
Isaiah Joe, who maybe he's not getting the minutes every night. He's drawing up plays for Jared McCain.
You know who would have been really nice to have for the Sixers is a guy off the bench who could shoot the lights out of the ball and
Who
give
could
them,
shoot
a little bit of a
62% from three?
Yeah, maybe the Sixers could have used that a little bit. I don't know, just a thought.
No,
They're calling him the Minute Man because he's scoring a point a minute.
Not for any other reason.
maybe another reason, but we can't get into that right now. Next up, though, we got Cason Wallace and Alex Caruso. Who, tell me, guys, are these the best defenders coming off the bench since Tony Allen was coming off the bench back in the day?
Yeah. Yes.
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't have much of a hesitation. No.
Okay, so you add all of this together. We're not even talking about guys that contributed to the finals last year, like Aaron Wiggins.
Who's
My claim is, and I want
Aaron
your
Wiggins
guys' take
actually
on
saved
this. I think this Thunder bench right now is the best bench we've seen in our lifetimes in the playoffs.
The
So
NBA
I want
say
to, and that we've seen in our lifetimes.
the Warriors are easily better.
The bench.
2017 Warriors.
Yeah, the strength and number Warriors bench, I'm taking 100% over them.
Okay.
Mo Spates, Sean Livingston, Leandro Barbosa. I'm sorry, but I'm like offensively, those guys were so good.
I mean,
They had Livingston and Iggy. Those were their big guys. I would
but
say they
Iggy-
contributed.
what
Did
about
he not start? Am I losing my mind?
He started.
He was
at
in the
some
death
point.
lineup, but he was.
Iggy
off the
about,
moved
bench.
to the
like-
bench at some point, but for that finals, he started. The 2015 finals, he started.
Ginobili, David West, Boris Diaw, Patty
Oh yeah,
Mills, Kyle
first
Anderson,
bench. I'd say it's probably like throw the
20
Thunder in with those two teams.
2016.
So yeah,
Spurs.
I had a list of teams. I had 17 Warriors. I had
2011
Livingston, Iguodala, Ian Clark, David
Oh
West,
my gosh! Shout out to Ian Clark. Wow.
Ian Clark did have a few big games in the playoffs,
Deep
actually.
pull.
JaVale McGee, and Matt Barnes also on that team. That's very deep. I wouldn't go against you if you had them over the Thunder. 2014 Spurs, Ginobili, Boris Diaw, Bellinelli, Patty Mills, Aaron
Ooh.
Baines.
I think
good.
honestly, Mitch, I'm surprised. Why have we not brought up the Raptors?
because it's not. No, it's like
That's the next team on my list.
Yeah.
I won't
So-
lie. That no, like I would put like the 2011 Mavericks, like Marion, Jason Terry, Peja, Barea, Haywood, like Corey Brewer, like that's
Yeah, those
that's-
Mavs teams were great. Then Jason Terry was basically like the guy
like
in the
you
finals.
you can make
Stojakovic.
you can make the argument of like the bench mob, but you can also like, dude, you can bring up Lob City, like Matt Barnes, Jamal Crawford, Bledsoe, Chauncey Billups.
Well, they didn't want to
that
chip
last
though.
legs, like, well, yeah, but like, okay,
Yeah, we're
like,
just judging the strength of the bench, though.
Yeah.
So.
I'm taking the Thunder bench over. I mean, I'm taking Alex Caruso over basically everyone on that bench.
yeah. I just like the Raptors. is not a team
Defensively,
that
it's the
I'd
best
go-
bench. Offensively, it's not incredible.
That's fair. But I also think, if, like, just emphasizing the depth itself, like, they just have so many options. Like, Aaron Wiggins
Yeah.
like I said, doesn't really play anymore. He could be on
He
a
still
playoff
can
rotation
play.
for, yeah, like, he still could.
What
So,
about Dion? What about your 2019 C's? Because that
Ah.
was Smart, Rozier, Morris, Baines, Wanamaker, and Time Lord.
yeah,
Like,
that's,
that's-
Brad
a lot of legit
Wanamaker,
NBA
man.
guys.
yeah,
that's-
shout out to Kyrie for saying, guys, I got this. I'll guard Giannis. That was, yeah, no, that team was supposed to be pretty damn
Dude,
special,
hey,
and it
listen,
all
listen,
came crashing
listen.
down.
That whole lineup, as I saw with Al Horford, got fucking all diamond cards that once you had them in the lineup, they became pink diamonds. All right, Terry Rozier had a fucking pink diamond
I remember
duo
that.
card. That's an insane.
I
thing to
I
think
was
about.
in the Dominican Republic drinking I was underage, so it was a virgin daiquiri,
Right.
and I was watching the Celtics get eliminated from the playoffs, and Kyrie like poop his pants, and it was very enjoyable.
Yeah, him shooting 6 for 18 or whatever it was,
And then
being
I'm
like,
never
"I'm never
doing
gonna
that
do
again."
and then he went 6 for 17 the next game or whatever.
The names for the 2017-18 bench mob for the Raptors makes you think it's better, but the iterations aren't, because it was Fred, Pascal, OG, Powell, DeLon Wright, and Jakob Poeltl.
Well,
That's-
OG wasn't available for the playoffs, but
That's what I mean. Like the names make you
Yeah.
go, okay, that's
OG,
the like the actual.
it's okay. OG's getting another ring this year.
shout out Pat McCall and multiple of the teams we mentioned, by the way.
McCaw, yes, sir. 3-time NBA champ.
But I just thought Caruso, Wallace, Mitchell, Jalen Williams, the big J Will, Isaiah Joe, Jared McCain, like that is absolutely stacked.
It's just
Like,
an
I don't-
embarrassment of riches.
Yeah. So I wanted to give those guys some love because I think the conversation with this series has trended negative. We could even talk about that if you want, but there's a lot of good things happening with these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they deserve all the praise that is out there to be given for them. I know, obviously, like you said, it's been pretty negative. A lot of people are turning on OKC. They're tired of the foul baiting, et cetera, et cetera. But, I mean, it's been a dominant run. I mean, they're 7-0 to this point. They really haven't had much of a close game. I do want to credit the Lakers for at least keeping it somewhat competitive through like 3 quarters at least. Because if you told me, the Lakers are going to go against OKC without Luka, I mean, we saw how it went in the regular season. I mean, they've done a better job, to your point, like probably the best SGA has been defended in a playoff series. But, I mean, I don't know. I just got to give the Lakers credit for playing a lot better than I expected.
Chet has been very solid.
Mm-hmm.
Chet has been great. Yeah, AJ has been great.
For them to be this dominant without J-Dub is just that just goes to show how well they're prepared for when guys miss time, for how well AJ is just prepared to go and start when he needs to. And like, I don't see any need for them to trade him. Like, I think ideally with him being this good, you can just have him be the guy next to SGA for the future. I don't see why not.
Yeah,
absolutely. No. Yeah, honestly, you mentioned Lou Dort headed to a team like the Wizards next year. I don't know if it's going to be them, but he's definitely going somewhere. He's not sticking around. I think he's very, very obviously the odd man out. We'll see what happens with Hartenstein too, but
Toronto.
It's been, Josie, I think we can share in this sentiment where the days of watching Teo Mallet and Alexei Pokusevsky and Isaiah Roby having to go from like that as like your guys coming off the bench to being like, we have Alex Russo and Watt. Like, it's just, doesn't it feel good to know that you suffered through probably the weirdest like era of just throwing paint on a canvas and hoping it sticks, and now you're like the process, like the blueprint of like just having players and like letting them go through the growing pains, but now it's good players that went through the growing pains and now they're actually performing for you. And then other franchises being stupid and being like, I think we sold high on Jared McCain. Shut up.
Several guys like Kenrich Williams have been along for the whole ride. It's great to see those guys winning these games now. So yes, I watched every game those seasons, so it feels incredible.
I get that sentiment too, because like watching Mitchell Robinson, who used to play with Kevin Knox and like Frank Ntilikina and all these other guys, watching him now in the playoffs is really cool. Like that definitely having the homegrown talents is important to like, I feel like the fans. I wish there were more homegrown guys on the Knicks, but that's just not how it works.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Celtics unfortunately had to sell their soul in order to win their championship, because I really wanted Marcus Smart to get a ring. He was obviously like the embodiment of the Celtics for that era. So he had to go. Mitch was in a similar situation where they kind of had to sell their soul.
And I wouldn't have it any other way.
But we'll take it, right? Hey, we're definitely not complaining. So
listen, you put me in a time machine and you send me 100 years back. Or sorry, you not 100 years.
100 years.
You send me.
Let's go. Mitch is going back.
Mitch is actually going to invent basketball.
You send me back to
going to end segregation, actually.
And then you tell me that Kyle Lowry will go out very sad and that DeMar will spend his days meddling in Sacramento. Would not give a shit, because I would see that banner hanging up and I'd be like, that's right. I had to sit through Bruno Cavacallo for like 2 years. I had to watch us have zero fucking I had to watch LeBronto happen for not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 separate playoff series. Wouldn't change it for the world. Would not change it for the world.
I'm with you on that.
I'm still the only NBA championship virgin out of all of you three.
Yeah, must be.
This could be the year, brother.
Could be the year. Could be the year. Yeah. I guess we should definitely touch on Spurs Wolves as well. Wolves even up the series after.
Oh, I gotta give my PSA.
Nate has a PSA for everybody. Go ahead,
Mr. Wembanyama. I'm talking to you. Okay, do not touch my sweet Prince Naz Reid ever again like that. I don't know what that is. He was talking about the other day how he likes to keep his emotions under control or whatever. He doesn't want to let his emotions get out of whack or whatever and have it cost his team. Something along those lines. And then he just goes and gives the people's elbow to Naz Reid's throat. And I don't know what the hell that was. I don't know how the NBA fined Mitchell Robinson for posting an AI video of like a chipmunk singing about Dyson Daniels being a bitch. and then they find him for that. They don't find Victor Wembanyama for like pulling out a karate move on the opposing player's neck. If that was anybody else, they're getting fined or suspended.
Yeah, I don't think there was any world in which they were going to suspend Wembanyama.
No, I know. J.R. Smith
wasn't
elbowed. Who was it? Who did he elbow in 2013? Just smacked them across the head when they were up 3-0 against Boston. Then it went to 6 because he got ejected and suspended.
Now, all right, I'm not
I
not
don't
condoning
remember
what Wemby did at all. All right, Wembanyama, that was
Yeah.
a bitch ass move. Like that's 10 ply, bro. That's Charmin soft. They're handsy as fuck with him this series, and he is not getting the whistle that I'd expect. Wembanyama has got his jersey pulled down several fucking times.
Yeah.
Wembanyama has got his
That's fair.
legs taken out from under him several fucking times. Wembanyama has been midair, and I have seen 2 hands on his back several times to no whistle, to no avail. So if he's a little upset, I get that. Nas is not the guy doing it to you, though. So you need to fucking calm down. A lot of it has been undercuts by Rudy. A lot of it has been Jaden kind of giving him the little. I don't know if you guys have seen
No,
the weak
A
side
lot of
Wemby
Jaden
grab.
cheap shots, yeah.
I
And
was
then
gonna say
he goes-
Jaden has done it the most.
He goes up baseline and Jaden hip checks him midair.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that's a dangerous play no matter what. Has not been called a single time. Not even a warning to Jaden about it, by the way.
Yeah, this is definitely the
even-
most like physical series
Yeah.
of the 4 by far. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's been to the Wolves' advantage. Like I think that plays more into their strengths. I think they're a team that kind of rallies behind like that sort of style of play. So I think that's been a big factor of why it's 2-2. But it doesn't. I don't know. Like I still feel confident the Spurs are going to win it, but also like I've just been proven wrong at every turn when it comes to doubting the Timberwolves.
Was the IO trade at the deadline one of the best trade deadline acquisitions we've seen in like the last 5-10 years?
Shout out
Possibly
Marc Gasol.
because
Because he's
yeah.
been so important for them down the stretch of games when they've needed an extra ball handler just to take the pressure off of Ant.
Well,
and-
he tried really hard to lose game 4 for them, I will say. I mean,
okay, yeah, that's fair. But
You
that was
know.
his first game coming back. He was their first or second game coming back from injury.
yeah, he did have he compared it to Roddy White, but he did have that, kind of catch. He did kick it, honestly. Like you could have called the kick ball there. They kind of let it go.
I don't think that you call kickball on offensive players, but
Yeah, that
not
No,
You
offensive
never-
players,
that.
that's also they can't kick the ball.
Yeah.
offense,
I think
they
you
never
can
call they don't call
inadvertently-
kick
Yeah,
balls though on
fair,
offense. Like
okay.
unless you visibly winded your foot up to kick it.
Right.
Like if it hits if you dribble off your foot, they're never calling that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, those last few possessions, he almost fumbled it away. It got pretty interesting at the end there. But no, he has come up huge for them in so many moments, first round and second round. So yeah, I mean, save for like Marc Gasol, probably like the best one of the modern era.
Yeah.
Trade
That's an
deadline
underrated.
acquisition.
Yeah, I was gonna say nice little shout out because I think. Well, okay, I think Io's different than a shot in the arm because that's what Gasol was. Gasol was the shot in the arm to get you to that over the hump.
Yeah, and specifically
Io-
for the Embiid matchup, he was huge.
Yeah, but Io might actually genuinely be like a building piece with Minnesota. Like
Yeah,
the
they
caliber
gotta
of
re-sign
who
him.
he is versus what Gasol was at the time. Like similar
Right.
implications in terms
Long
of getting
term,
you to
yes.
that next. Yeah,
You know-
similar
you know what they have to
implications,
do?
but- What?
They gotta send Julius Randle to Brooklyn.
Oh boy.
They gotta
I don't-
offload him so they can re-sign Io.
I don't know what they do with him because at certain points of the season he was so critical. Like early on, the first
It was
20,
like a quarter of the season he was critical, and then it was
yeah,
like,
the
all right,
first
this-
the first quarter of the season he was their best player, and then at points I think in the first round he was very crucial as well. But now in the second round he's damn near a liability. So I think he has 19 made field goals and 18 turnovers, or maybe even the inverse of that.
It's
So
19. Yeah, he's made 19 shots, 18 turnovers. But
Yeah,
I think
it's
the
been
thing
bad,
with
but-
him is within 5 minutes of the game starting, you can kind of be like, okay,
Yes.
oh, we're getting good Julius Randle tonight, or
Yes.
oh, we're getting bad Julius Randle tonight. And when it's we're getting bad Julius Randle, you know that you're going to be in for a bunch of random ass shots where he just backs down a guy, then turns around and tries to get it off with no space. There's going to be a bunch of errant passes. It's going to be him not trying at all on defense. And when he's bad at one thing, it affects the rest of him. Like when he's not scoring well, he's not playing defense well. When he's not scoring well, he's not passing well. He's not engaged. And it's just, I feel like 80% of the games over the last 2 months have been, oh my God, it's bad Julius Randle.
And
Yeah,
it's like he wants to prove a point that he can score in this game, and
He
it's
gets it in
that's
his
just what
head.
it becomes about. And it's like
It's 100% mental. And it's like, oh, I got to prove that I'm an all NBA player right now. So I'm just going to ignore my teammates and take a bunch of bullshit shots and hope that I shoot myself out of this slump.
Nate, do you remember like one of the very first ever conversations we had on a podcast when we were talking about Zach LaVine and kind of how like he just is the player that he is, and you're not going to be able to like mold him into a winning situation. I think
Yeah.
Julius Randle it kind of suffers from that as well. Like you were saying, Josie, he kind of has to like prove that to people that he can score rather than just do whatever's going to help the team win. That
Well, I think the thing is that Randall hasn't even been given the chance though to prove that he can be a third guy, because every single team that he's been on, he's been forced to be the first or second option. And I just think in reality, if you want to win a championship, he is so much better fit as a third option, as a guy who can go out and give you 30 on a given night. But like, he is not a 1 or a 2 on a winning team. He's good enough to get you to the playoffs and, you know, help you maybe win a round by just being a body, and the fact that you have to double him just because he's so physically imposing. But other than that, he is statistically one of the worst playoff performers we've ever seen.
Wow.
I have liked, though, especially earlier in the series, I think it's kind of faded as time has gone on, but I definitely liked his, like you were saying, him being a physical body on Wemby. Like, I think that has definitely helped in stretches, but feels like that impact has kind of waned from game 1 to game 4. So we'll see what kind of impact he has the rest of the series. That's probably like the biggest swing factor as far as like whether or not the Timberwolves going to be able to pull this out. Are we going to get, like you said, is it going to be 5 minutes in and go, okay, we're getting a bad Julius Randle game?
He has one type of play style, and if that play style is not working on that particular night, it's all hell is breaking loose. And Nas has been the second best player for them in the playoffs, at least offensively. Like, if you're counting Rudy, then because of his defense, fine. Even though Wemby has had his way with him in a few games, it hasn't been every game. But I mean, like Josie said, he only gave up 4 points to him last game. Haha. But I think Nas has been incredible in stepping up for Julius, and that's a big reason that they are 2-2.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, they're going to need that in exchange of Julius Randle playing well to pull this out. But it'll be an interesting one. I still feel confident about the Spurs. I still look at these two teams and say the Spurs are definitely better. But like I said, I've been burned every single time I doubt the Timberwolves. So who knows?
Yeah.
Seems like De'Aaron Fox is on a mission to make this a closer series than it needs to be as well.
I mean, he's
there's all these
questionable for
questions
game
about
5.
like, oh, well, the Spurs are untested. You know, they don't have a lot of playoff experience. That was all kind of directed toward Castle and Harper. We kind of forgot Fox has never been to the second round either.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's only been there once.
No, he's never been to the second round.
He's only been to the playoffs once.
The playoffs once, yeah, and he did go to
Yeah.
Game 7. I do still feel like they would have won that game if he hadn't like had a busted pinky or whatever. But
Yeah,
so
and
be it.
Steph
He's never
Curry
been to the
turned
second round.
into.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that was and then I guess we should also touch on Pistons Cavs to wrap this one up.
Pistons
yeah,
are
they're
up
still
4 at the half.
they're still up 4 at the half.
56-52.
I'm still waiting for like the Evan Mobley masterclass game, and I don't know whether that's going
waiting,
to
buddy.
come.
Yeah,
Does that exist?
I wouldn't stay up
Okay,
late
'cause-
waiting for that one.
No, because
Is that
here's
in
my
the cards?
thing. Here's my thing. Cleveland's identity needs after the series, regardless of what happens, like even if miraculously, they push the Knicks to like 7 games. All right, like say they make the Davis Conference Finals, they push the Knicks to 7 games. Jalen Brunson daps up Spida and hits him with the, "Hey man, you want to come on over here? You know, we could fuck around." The Cavs are the best version when Evan Mobley is aggressive and he's able to suck everybody in, and Donovan Mitchell and him are clicking, and it's great. No pause. But I have seen enough of Evan Mobley be a passive Pierre, if you would, that I don't even know what to expect from him at this point. Usually at this point, and I'll quote Bill Simmons here, you usually establish yourself if you're a playoff riser, if you're a dud, if you're going to take the echelon jump to be an all-NBA player, if you're going to be an all-star, you're going to be a fringe star. And it feels like Evan Mobley, his peak was the cards fell in the right order and he was an all-star. He grabbed his depoy. He was a defensive first teamer. He was an all-NBA second teamer. The cards fell and the chips, got sprinkled onto him in the perfect season. The storm was great, but individually, I fear that might have been what his ceiling could be, right? Like I think that version of Mobley, and that's still a great player, but that's not the player that you go, okay, you're going to be our franchise killer, and we're going to get the pieces around you.
But so what about that makes you think that it's coming then?
Oh, I'm waiting for that to happen.
Well, no, I
because
think
all I
that's-
keep hearing is that
Okay.
Evan Mobley is still the superior player. That all these Cavs fans are saying Evan Mobley is still in that tier above all these other players from his draft class. That he's with them with Cade. That he can be that second option with Donovan Mitchell. The general masses still has Evan Mobley stock, and it's weird.
Yeah, and
It's
I
very weird.
was conducting the train on the Evan Mobley hype train coming into the league, And I'm now, me and my accountant, we're having serious conversations about what we need to do with all this stock. Because if I had known, like, don't get me wrong, I definitely saw the comparison of like like the Pokemon evolution of like Kevin Garnett's up here, AD's in the middle here, and then you have Mobley under that. But if I had known that Mobley was,
Well, I don't know if
the
we're
same
ready for the
demeanor-
conversation that the AD is just a better player than Kevin Garnett, but
I'm not ready for that conversation. I'm
All right.
not even picking up that phone. But
okay.
if I had known coming into the league that Mobley was going to have the demeanor of Frank Ocean, then yeah, I probably wouldn't have picked him to
You're
hit
just
a ceiling.
saying that because they look alike.
Well, yeah, maybe, but
They
the
both
point
like their
still stands
jobs.
of like this is the most like soft-spoken, like damn near timid guy I've ever seen with such.
Can
a
I
great
give
skill
you a quote to describe Evan Mobley that I think sums up what you're saying perfectly?
Sure.
So if I don't know if you guys saw Spider-Man or the Spider-Man movies, but so MJ says, if you expect disappointment, you'll never really be disappointed. And I think that's a great way to go about watching Evan Mobley and just expecting his development. If you don't expect anything, then you're getting what Evan Mobley is what he is, and that's okay. And if he does develop at some point, hallelujah. But I think right now you have to just realize Evan Mobley's probably a 19-8 guy that's gonna play really solid defense, and just until we see otherwise, is not ready to be a second option, in terms of scoring come playoff time, even a third on some nights. James Harden has been about as bad as we could have expected when they needed him most.
Offensively on the road, they've been atrocious as a whole team. And
I think we can kind of wrap up there. I know we did more of like big picture with Pistons Cavs as opposed to like X's and O's analysis, but I think that's fine.
Do we actually think? Does anyone actually think that Cleveland's winning this series?
No.
they have
They're
to prove they can win a
favored, if I'm
road
not
game.
mistaken.
So
Like I think they went into the series favored, which is insane. But
Well, I mean, like, can you blame how shitty Duran looked? Like, people were seriously doubting.
He still
guess,
does look
yeah.
shitty in their win, and they're still ahead in
Yeah.
the series currently. 2-1. It's
Yeah.
probably going to be 2-2 after tonight. But
I
their
feel pretty
defense is
confident
just
about
so
it.
much better than Cleveland's.
I feel pretty confident we're going to get the same script of James Harden in Game 7, 2 for 9, 5 turnovers. So I'm not really too worried. I think
I will
Pistons in
tell you,
7
as a
feels
Knicks
pretty
fan,
wrapped
I
up.
am much more worried about the Pistons than I am about Cleveland.
You should be. Makes total sense. But until then, that'll wrap it up for this episode.
Remember when you
Make
had
sure
Alex
to-
Caruso over Scotty Barnes?
No, I didn't. Relax.
Yes, you
Okay,
did.
settle down. No, I didn't. Anyway,
He could have.
make
I don't
sure,
know.
make sure you subscribe to the pod. Tell your friends about us. Check us out on social media as well at 2for1 Hoops on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter. Even though we don't tweet, but we're on Twitter. Follow us.
Don't follow us on Twitter.
All right, fine. Don't follow us on Twitter.
Nate's
But,
been liking some scary shit on Twitter.
oh boy, yeah. I don't want to know what goes on with that account.
That's
But
not true.
as Nate said, we'll have a guest on this weekend. Shout out our guy, Mr. Bunk. But until then, hope everyone has a great rest of their day.